Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 43 of our All the Mods 9 to the Sky Let's Play series. Where today, well, we're finishing off our Fissile Fuel production, and yeah, it works pretty good. And it's expandable, which is great. We can produce more and more if we need to. We'll see that this episode too. So let's get started. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of TheAndrata, where, well, we are continuing where we left off last episode with our Fissile Fuel production system and getting that going. So, continuing. So, last episode we left off and we had made ourselves sulfuric acid. So, we have about 5 buckets of sulfuric acid going, and we're doing pretty good. So, next major goal is to get ourselves hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluoric acid is made within a chemical dissolution chamber, sulfuric acid, and some fluorite. So pretty simple process there. The chemical dissolution chamber is here. We're also going to need to get ourselves an exporter from AE so we can export this stuff out of here. We're going to need a crafting card because I taught the system how to make the fluorite. And of course, we're going to want to go fast. So we'll grab acceleration cards. Our chemical dissolution chamber can go ahead and sit itself down right here, and we can go ahead and get that sulfuric acid put in from the side. We're starting to run out of space, so I am going to be packing things in a little tighter now. Configuration card can go on over here. Quantum entangler dissolution chamber. You are going to get cleared out of all of your stuff, except for energy, pigments, slurries. Okay. You are going to get sulfuric acid from your left, and that's going to go into the red slot, and that is a gas. So we're going to input the red. And then we're going to come over here. You are sulfuric acid, and we can go ahead and gases output to the right. So now we should end up with sulfuric acid in here. I'm going to go ahead and put power on you. We then need to get the sulfuric the fluorite into this. I think the easiest way for us to do that is probably just straight into the bottom of this bad boy. Go down. Thank you. Oh, just fall. Jeez. I have to press too many buttons. I feel like I'm playing like an FPS here. I don't need the dense cable to chill there, but we can go ahead and do this. And then do. And how are we doing, dense cable, by the way, on channels? You're only using one. You're using one. I don't even know where the thing is. Oh, there you are. How are you doing? Oh, this is literally only using one channel for this whole side. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. So we want that exporter to go there. And then cable to connect it. You are going to export fluorite into this guy. Now, I know fluorite is going to be used again later, but export is fine. We can do that again. So you're going to export fluorite into here as fast as you can, and you're going to craft it if you need to. So in the items section, we are going to input from the bottom, and now it should get fluorite into there. Perfect. Okay. And then with that fluorite, we should be now producing hydrofluoric acid. That can go ahead and come on out. Over here. You are hydro acid. So hydrofluoric acid, you are going to input from the left, and then you are going to go ahead on your right, auto output. So now we have hydrofluoric acid coming into this quantum entangler porter. With that quantum entangler porter, we can go ahead and go to the next step. And again, like I said, all these quantum entangler, it is not necessary for this. It's just for expansion. So say I needed to add another chemical dissolution chamber. Well, I just have to add a chemical dissolution chamber here, put another thing of sulfuric acid quantum entangler porter on top, and it'll push into it. So it allows me to basically, if I need to get the more fissile fuel, I can add another whole row of these without having to worry about cables piping in and out everywhere. I literally just duplicate this on top of itself, and it's expandable and scalable. Makes sense? So that's why I'm going this route. It's kind of handy to be able to do so. If I were to use XNet, it would be kind of a pain if I wanted to expand because I'd have to go into the controller, configure everything again to be correct. And it's just, I just throw another quantum entangler and I can even use the copy card to copy, or copy paste everything. And it just literally just works. And that's why Chosen did it, and it makes sense. Okay, so we have hydrofluoric acid. So we got the fluorites, we got the chemical dissolution chamber, and we got our hydrofluoric acid. Now the hydrofluoric acid is going to be used inside of a chemical infuser, and the chemical infuser is going to combine that with uranium oxide. Okay, we don't have uranium oxide yet, so let's work on that side of things because we have hydrofluoric acid. Uranium oxide is going to be made by oxidizing yellow cake uranium, and yellow cake uranium is going to come from enriching uranium. So let's get ourselves an enrichment chamber and pop this guy down. And again, we'll just export this. That's perfectly fine. We can grab a exporter, the advanced extended export bus. We can get ourselves a crafting card and an acceleration card or 4. And we pop down here again, just like we did before. Excuse me, I'm middle clicking. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so then we extended export bus, and then we cable it. Bam. Come over here. We are looking for uranium this time. So uranium is going to come into here. And we are going to crafting card, acceleration card that. And it's going to pop into there because I didn't tell this not to do anything. But we'll clear it really quick, and we'll just say input on the bottom because I don't want anything else to go anywhere. So there's that. And then we can actually even go ahead, since I have the ability to, we can make that faster by tearing it up, or at least kicking off the tiers. So we can do this, 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 and this. This. And let's get as much of this yellow cake uranium as we can. I know we're going to need a ton of it. Okay, so there we go. It's making as much. It doesn't have any speed upgrades or anything in there, so it's not like it's going to go super fast right now, but it's going. Yellow cake uranium being produced, and again, that needed to go inside of a chemical oxidizer, correct, to make uranium oxide. So let's get the chemical oxidizer going. Chemox. Perfect. Oh, that's chemical dissolution chamber. Chemical oxidizer. Apparently I didn't make enough of those. Let's just craft another one. Chemical oxidizer. You are going to get cleared out on all of your stuff, but you are going to input that yellow cake uranium from here into your slot. So items are going to come in from here, and then you can just go ahead and export your items to the right with an auto eject, and that'll kick on the chemical oxidizer until it runs out of power, but that is now solved. And the chemical oxidizer is producing uranium oxide, so we can go ahead and grab a quantum entangler. We now have oxidized uranium, essentially, is what we've got. So this is uranox. We'll call it uranox. Uranox is going to get configured to have nothing because I wasn't paying attention. There we go. Uranox is going to get a gas input on the left, and the chemical oxidizer is going to get a gas output on the right. And we have uranox coming into here. Yes. No. Oh, because I put items. Outputs to the right. Now we have uranox coming into our quantum entangler. Perfect. That took care of this. It took care of this. That took care of this. And it took care of this. We are almost there. Check it out. So now we need uranium hexafluoride. I guess that's going to go over here. Uranium hexafluoride is going to be made in another chemical infuser. Take this guy and pop him down right over here. And we grab 2 more quantum entangler porters. Bam, bam. Bam, and bam. Clear it all. Bam, and bam. And clear you. Do. Okay. Power. With that, all we need to do is go ahead. We took care of that. We took care of that. We have hydrofluoric acid. We are currently making uranium hexafluoride. So we need hydrofluoric acid to come in on the left side. So we're going to say gas input 1 and then input 2 because the orange. And we already know that because it's not our first rodeo. We'll come over here and you need, let's double check, hydrofluoric acid. So we should have hydro acid set. And your gas, you will output that to the right. So now we get hydrofluoric acid. And then on this side, we're going to need uranox to come in on the left. Auto output, eject. Good. And we are currently making uranium hexafluoride. Done. Done. And for our final step, we just need to take that uranium hexafluoride and throw it in to an isotopic centrifuge. And that is fissile fuel production in a nutshell. Now, this uranium the uranium hexafluoride, do I want... Let's see. Now, I'm kind of out of room. You know what? This is the final product for this. Let's just throw it right into the middle. Yeah, I like that idea. So we need a quantum entangler one. We're going to need one. We're going to need one for input over there and then there. Okay. So let's grab this guy. And I don't like that this is going to stick out into our road here. I kind of like it being contained. So I think this I'll put on the bottom just so it's out of the way. You are going to get cleared. And you are, what is this called? Uranium hexafluoride. Urine hex, right? So we got urine ox and we got urine hex. So you are going to be a gas. You're going to input from the top, and then you will gas eject to the bottom auto. So we've got Urahex going on, urine hex. Okay. So then finally our isotopic centrifuge. You get some power. The only thing with the isotopic centrifuge, there's kind of inconvenient because it's 2 blocks tall versus all the other machines. So that one is not stackable, but hey, you know what? Actually putting it in the middle here helps. So quantum entangler porter, clear. Throw that away because we're done with it for the time being. And you are going to get on your input. We're going to clear. For your gas, you can input on the left. You can go to the urine hex. You can output that to the right, auto eject, and then we turn it off. Mechanism, no, and no. So now we have fissile fuel being produced. So this guy is going to be fissile fuel. You'll get the full name for this guy because it's important. Fissile fuel is going to come in from the right. You are going to output to the right and auto eject. So now fissile fuel is coming into our quantum entangler porter. And with that setup, we have fissile fuel automated. Okay. All of it's being produced. We're good to go. We are now able to run a reactor. Before I do that, though, we do want to speed all this up because it's quite slow. We are not producing very much fissile fuel, and we want a lot of it. Like we're not babying our reactor today. We're going to be setting up a pretty beefy reactor overall. So let's go with Mekanism, and then let's get our upgrades and see how many are going to go into each. I'm going to do energy first. I always like energy first, simply because once you put the speed in, they go. Most machines in Mekanism are going to go super fast, and I don't necessarily want that. I'm sorry, they're going to start using a ton of energy really quickly. I don't want that right off the bat. Okay, so we have that. Then we can get speed upgrades put into them. Again, this is going to take a ton of power. By the way, that guy specifically is using like 40,000 RF just by himself. That's literally that thing that we just upgraded over there, the thermogen. It's literally using all the power from that thermogen just by itself. Okay, so it's a lot of power. There is gas burning upgrades too, and I think a couple of these machines are going to use those. So let's grab gas burning upgrades. It'll just make it so it uses less of whatever gas it is. So we're going to just try it in all of them. No. Is it a chemical infuser? No. The chemical dissolution chamber. There we go. That one uses. Now it'll use less sulfuric acid. Chemical oxidizer. Do you use these? No. And no. Okay. But important. Put those in there. Makes it so that it uses less sulfuric acid. So now we are producing fissile fuel much quicker. We have 80 buckets of it already. And like I said, this is using 40,000. This is using 800. This is using, 40 every time it's operating. So most of these are not terribly too bad. The biggest bottleneck that we have overall is going to be our production of hydrofluoric acid, it looks like. our dissolution chamber and our sulfuric acid production is not fast enough. This is not fast enough. So this is getting, and remember, these are crossed. So this is sulfuric trioxide. That's you. You are not getting enough of what you need, which is what? Sulfuric dioxide, which comes from over here, which is over here. So our chemical oxidizer is our bottleneck. And so basically it looks like, the chemical oxidizers that we have set up are going to be our overall bottlenecks because they can only operate one little thing at a time. So this is where that expansion would come in handy. I could go ahead and add another chemical oxidizer. I could add another quantum entangler. I'm going to grab a copy card because I don't want to use the one that I have. I'm sorry, it's a configuration card. That one's already configured for my quantum entangler porters, and I don't want to mess with it. So we'll just grab a whole another one. So we copy here, copy there. Or, sorry, we copy from here, we paste to there. We copy from here, we paste to there. Then we give this guy power. And then we get our export, the whole export chain and everything. At this point, we could use, this is where having it exporting into a infuser would be handy. So maybe we do that. Let's move this. Grab a quantum entangler porter. Put it here. You're going to do the exact same thing that you were just doing, but this time you're just going to import into here. So we import sulfur dust into here, and we say, okay, you are going to be sulfur dust. You get your input cleared because I just messed all that up. It probably has sulfur dust in it now because I let it run, but that's okay. Okay, clear this. Your sulfur dust item input will be from here. Okay, so do you have sulfur dust in you? I can't honestly tell, but that stopped. So we're going to say, okay, so your sulfur dust, you are inputting that sulfur dust from here, and you can go ahead and output it there. Did that work? Okay, yes. But now I can go ahead and throw another quantum entangler porter up. I can, are you the quantum entangler porter clear? Yeah. You go away. You're just a regular copy card. But I can go here and say sulfur dust, and I can items, I can output to the right, and now that'll automatically start crafting sulfur dust for us. And it should auto output the sulfuric acid over to the right-hand side, right? And then this should be set to the sulfur diox, and it's inputting. So we just now doubled the speed of that. And then if we grab speed upgrades, we can throw those in there. Now notice why I want to do the speed, the energy first, because this is using 8,000 RF per tick. As soon as I put my energy upgrades in there, it's now using 800 RF per tick. So significant decrease in energy costs, by the way. But yeah, look, we just doubled our sulfuric dioxide production, which will help just produce more fissile fuel for us. But we're already sitting at 320 buckets. We can do it again. We can add on another row and another row if we needed to. Over here, if we needed to add on. What we want to keep an eye on is these machines to see if we are bottlenecking anywhere. But our sulfuric acid is catching up now, it looks like. So our next major bottleneck is, this has nowhere for that yellow cake uranium to go. Our next major bottleneck is our chemical oxidizer over here for producing the uranium oxide. So I could set up another chemical oxidizer here and handle that. At that point, I would have to set up like a pipe or something to put the yellow cake uranium in here because I have that just auto exporting, or I could just we could handle that. I could put a quantum entangler porter on the bottom, something like that. We could figure that part out. It's not terribly too difficult. But yeah, that takes care of fissile fuel. In between episodes, I'll probably go ahead and expand this chemical oxidizer just to get a little higher. Next episode, we're going to build our reactor. I think I'm just debating, how large do I want to go with our reactor? I did teach them system how to make our fission reactor and everything. And the fission reactor, I believe, it can go up to, it can get to be fairly darn large. Like overall, it can be as large as really we can feed into it, correct? If I am correct in that, I'm probably not, but I could be. And apparently we got no quests done, so that's lovely for us. Even though we just did this whole process to get our uranium hexafluoride, but that's okay. Our goal is to make a fission reactor. I'm trying to see, booting up your reactor. Is this has you build the reactor first, but it doesn't tell us like how big. Start with building a 5x5. Nah, I think I'm gonna go with like a do I want to go like 15 by 15 by 15? Just go big, go big or go home. How large would that be? If I were 15 by 15, that's so if I wanted to build it internally and I want to leave a little gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's be, man, that's a quite large reactor. If it was from here to there, that's a big boy reactor, ain't it? I don't know. It kind of messes up my blood magic being in this area too, but blood magic can move over there. That's not a big deal. That's a big reactor. 15 by 15 and then 15 tall. That's crazy. I think I'm going to do it. So in between episodes, I'm going to work on seeing how exactly how much casings and all that stuff that's going to cost, which is going to be a lot. And then we'll see, can our fissile fuel production handle that, or do we need to expand it? So anyway, if you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one. Have a good one.